We are packing for a kayak trip that's going to last 5 days. The packing list would be similar for any amount of days. The difference is how much food we have.
This is our bag with lights and ropes for hanging up food and clothesline.
We have clothespins, a saw, a Leatherman, putty for boat repair, duct tape.
And that little container with duct tape on it is our headlamp. We decided to take chairs, our medical kit. That goes into the waterproof bag, but I have learned I can't always trust these bags. I have to test them before each trip, and if I don't take the time to do that, it just feels better to me to have the Ziploc bag inside. This is what's in our first aid kit. It's not complete, according to some of the research articles that I've read, but it has served us for our needs. This is a little sewing kit, so it's got a couple needles, a thimble, some safety pin, and some really strong heavy-duty thread. I also have a tick key on my car key because this is what it seems like we need the most often. And this is in my fanny pack in a waterproof bags. But there is also a tick key in the medical kit, along with a very, very teeny tiny screwdriver, which works for eyeglass repair. Some burn bandages, which I can tell you, these are really nice to have. I did burn my finger just a little bit when I picked something up with my leather glove, and it was too hot for the leather glove. I still needed a hot pad. Anyway, I used one of these and it healed in a day. It's the 2 sleeping pads we have, and this is a tarp.
While packing a canoe is a little bit of a puzzle, packing kayaks is even more of a puzzle.
So we tested out how we're going to fit everything into the kayaks before we actually load it into the car. Okay, so for kitchen stuff, we have a regular size twig stove. I do have a small twig stove, and if this doesn't end up fitting in our kayak as we test it out, we'll see if we switch. And then we have a small kettle and a teapot, a tarp, small blue tarp, aluminum foil and paper towel and a chamois, a tall spoon for stirring, a little scraper to make sure and get all the food out of the kettle before we wash it, 1 fork and 2 spoons, and a scrubby. And I'm trying to decide whether to take another towel. And that all goes in this little dry bag, along with a small bottle of Castile soap. Cups, 3 cups, will go in the kettle, and along with a lot of these little other supplies that can go down in here. Then, just in case there's still a fire ban, we have this little emergency stove, waterproof matches, and 2 pairs of gloves. This tray, this little dollar store tray, is what we would put underneath the twig stove, and that would protect the ground from the fire that it would make, and would make cooling down and cleaning up a lot cleaner. And the tent.
This is a tent.
The toiletry kit will be packed wherever we store food for the night.
The orange bag has my hiking boots and my bug net. The gray bag is my clothes. The blue bag and those shoes are what I'll be wearing to start the trip. Both of our rain gear will be accessible. So we have gear in this hatch, rain gear. The tent will be there. And then he has a deck bag. I ended up putting our 2 chairs tucked up on the right and left of the foam brace. My PFD and my fanny pack will go behind me there. Bilge pump and paddle float are there, and gear is in the hatch. So there we go. So that's the kitchen kit. So the stove and utensils, 2 stoves actually.
I just had to loosen it up to get it in.
Okay. That's the rope bag and medical kit. And Brad's boots. Brad's clothing.
Bag 1. Clothing bag 1.
Map case has maps and a compass in it. That's our twig stove round protection unit. The tarp and the sleeping bag.
Ha!
So Brad's clothing bag number 2. The sleeping pads. The tent poles. 2 chairs. And this bag is my shoes and my bug net. My clothes. My clothes bag. And a little sit-upon. So I forgot to take any kind of detailed pictures of our food plan before our trip. So all you get to see is our leftovers. Anyway, I have this brown waterproof bag that we had our breakfast in. So we took along a full bag of Trader Joe banana chips. And then I took obviously way too much powdered milk. A full bag of this nut granola and added a little bit to the bag to measure out that Brad could eat a cup and I would eat 1/3 of a cup for breakfast every day. And then he had his coffee and we packed some hot chocolate along these different drink mixes. For our lunches, one of these little 2.85 ounce bags took care of us for 2 days each. And we had 5 nights, 6 days in there. So this was the perfect amount of jerky for us. And then I took along 2 cups of mixed nuts. And we had a bag full of dried fruit that included mango, cherries, and dates. And this is all that's left of that. So that was pretty perfect packing. I did have these energy bites in the lunch bag to take a few out each day and have with us as a snack, but we didn't eat them, and I feel a little bad about that. The other thing that's completely gone is the chocolate. And then all of the lunch was packed in this lightweight dry bag, and we kept this one at the top of our hatch so that whenever we were paddling for the day, we could grab this out and eat lunch. I had the dinners packed in these Ziploc bags. They were dehydrated meals that I make myself at home ahead of time. And then I take along just this one little thing of spice. So then at night, when we needed to protect our food from critters, all of the food bags, so the dinners would be in here, the lunch goes in there, and also the brown breakfast bag with our breakfast fit. All of that fit in the black sack, along with that small green waterproof toiletries bag that has our toothpaste and bug repellent in it. So the sack bag is designed with this rope that cinches when you pull it tight, and it has special instructions for putting, I can't do it one-handed, for putting the rope through to the other side and then cinching it all closed and tying the rope around the top to make sure that that's sealed super tightly. And there are some really great videos out there on how to properly close an sack, so I'm not going to show that. Okay, so what I packed was a small towel, and then I have a cooler cloth and my kayaking gloves and my 100% wool hat. I have a bandana. This shirt I wore every day. It's long sleeve and protects my arms and my neck and everything from the sun. And if I get too hot, I just get it wet. And then I have a short sleeve t-shirt and a long sleeve merino wool, which is a nice layer if it's cold out. I really think I only wore it for sleeping. 3 pairs of wool socks, a pair of merino wool lightweight socks for sleeping. This is my tank top for sleeping, merino wool long underwear for sleeping, and underwear and a bra. My pants that I wear every day. These are my heavier weight pants that I wear for around camp, that I brought to wear for around camp, and I think I only wore them one day. This is a merino wool hoodie, icebreaker hoodie. This is my bug jacket. And then I do have a windbreaker jacket, which I wore a couple of times. And then a merino wool hat, which I kept with me in a little fanny pack. Another bandana, which I never pulled it out, but I would still take it again. This is my Hydro Pack water bottle, and I have a bee-free filter for it in my fanny pack. And my Clean Canteen water bottle that sat right with me in the boat and hooked on. So nothing in my kayak was loose, and except me. And then I took along these shoes for camp, dry shoes, but I never needed them. Maybe once I wore them, but otherwise I find these Astral water shoes super comfortable. So if they're not wet, I just keep them on at camp. So that's it for my gear, not including my fanny pack, which will be a separate video.
Water filter, water holder, life preserver, my warm wool sweatshirt that I never had to use, fortunately. It's rainproof. My hoodie, my merino wool hoodie that I wore a lot. Shorts, I didn't wear those at all. This is my towel. Warm day pants, cold day pants. 1, 2, 3 shirts that I interchanged. This was mostly a sleeping shirt. This one is wool. Bandana. 3 pair of wool socks. This one was my sleeping socks. 3 pair of underwear. Sleeping cotton hoodie. Sleeping shorts. Silk long johns. This is what I carry. These 2 things is what I carried all this in. And I wore my hat.
Yeah.
These were my water shoes. I wore them while paddling. These are my land shoes. I never got them wet.
All right. Thank you, honey. You ask, where's her pocket knife? Where's her headlamp? It's in a separate video. My fanny pack and my life jacket pockets are full of all kinds of stuff. Separate video. So this is the packing list, and I'm not taking everything that's on the packing list, and you probably won't either. And maybe there's some things that you thought of to take along that I don't have here. Feel free to comment about that.